Hello everyone and welcome to some more F1 My Team. This one is going to be the British Grand Prix, a home race and near enough the halfway point of the season. Round number 7 out of 16. If you guys haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out, link up in the top right for the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. But yeah, with that said, we're going to crack on and jump into this episode. If you're going to enjoy it, leave a like. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. We've been really close, around 950 on the last 3 episodes. So let's try and smash 1,000 likes on this one. Subscribe for more as we're on the run to 100k. And I've got some juicy content coming this week, guys. So definitely stay tuned. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, with that promo and that kind of advertising out the way and on the side, we can now actually focus on the task in hand this weekend. You can see in the background we have a hell of a lot of rain for the race. I'm talking so much rain. It's going to be a soggy British Grand Prix. With that said, first of all, qualifying. That weather is for the race, the rain, but we're going to focus on qualifying first and foremost. Silverstone, one of the toughest, if not the toughest circuit on the entire calendar in terms of AI difficulty. They are so strong around here, and it's usually the toughest race and race weekend of the season. So qualifying hasn't been great. It's been a bit of an Achilles heel for us, so I want to try and improve. Now, you saw before, we took care of activities. We had a personnel department event for the simulator. Now we're going through our setup, and I've made a few adjustments. So essentially the setup will be understeery, but it should be quite a bit more planted than it has been in previous years, with the objective of being able to carry more speed through turn 1 and also cops. So we'll see how that works out. For now, end of our first time lap here in qualifying. Admittedly not super quick, but definitely not too shabby. Up to the line, and we say 22.8, and we go P6 ahead of Ticktum and Aiken, just behind Russell and Leclerc, as we let, I believe, Lando Norris through there in the Mercedes. I actually then went for a cool-off lap and then a second push on the same tyres, and you can see now on the second lap we're 3 tenths up. I found loads of time, especially pretty much 2 tenths in the first sector alone. That's where most of the lap time was found, and then we find a bit more in sector 3 as we cross the line and go P4 with a 22.5. After that, we returned to the pits, and I looked at the split times, and I thought we were safe. No real threats. Aitken, to be fair, was struggling for pace, and he finishes a P14 in Q1, but you can see quite safe by about a second nearly in the end. Verstappen setting the pace with Ricciardo close behind. But in Q2, we had car trouble on the fuel system.
Okay, hope you brought something to read today. There's an issue in the fuel system. We don't think it's anything terminal, but it is going to take some time to investigate and repair.
Well, unfortunately, Jeff, I didn't bring anything to read because I'm not a big fan of reading. So we're just going to get back on track. I got the repairs done, and we had just about enough time for 2 runs. So we do have a second one available to us if we need it, hence why I've gone out as soon as possible. End of the lap though, let's see, 22.5 is what we've done in Q1, so that's kind of our benchmark reference as our first lap here in Q2. Up over the final corner, up to the line, 22.4, P4, and Verstappen ahead of us, P3 on medium, which is pretty damn insane. I went back to the pits, you can see the splits. We're currently safe by about 2 tenths. The field is super compact and tight. Aitken down in P14, but I wasn't satisfied with 2 tenths being my safety margin, so we did go back out for another attempt on a fresh set of tyres, and we're going to try and improve. So turn 1, not fully flat in these cars, but much closer to being flat out than I have been in recent seasons with the setup changes. Into turn 3, 3rd gear up to 4th, then back down to 3rd, trying to get the rotation, which I did a really good job of through here, and I believe this was my best first sector of the entire weekend up until this point. So a really good sector 1. Spot the braking, which in this case is the 50 meter board, down to 4th gear, pick up a late apex, try to open up the right hander of left field as much as you can, and then traction out here is key. So use all the runoff curb on the left, flat out along the old pit straight, into cops, bit of a lift at the 50 turn in. You can see there just a slight little lift just to try and stabilise the car and manage our corner speed. Into Maggots and Beckett's flat out for the first 2, and even that, a little bit of a lift through the second apex. keep it tight, try not to get into the grass as we get a little bit loose with oversteer, but we're up by a tenth and nearly a half as we tackle sector 3. Down to Stowe, 6th gear, clip the inside curb to rotate the car, and now we're a tenth and a half up as we make our way into the final chicane. 4th gear, a little bit hot on the brakes there, locking up, missing the apex a little bit. Exit though on point as we get a bit of a freeze frame, and then across the line 22.3 with a little bit of an FPS drop there at the end, so apologies for that. Nonetheless, job done for us. We move into Q3. Ricciardo setting the pace, 22.1. Very strong pace from him. Jack Aitken though unfortunately out in P13, and Verstappen gets through a mediums in P6. However, that's going to be null and void because the qualifying isn't going to matter because the race is going to be on full wet tyres or intermediates because of the rain. So tyre compound don't really make a difference. Q3 though, I put on a huge set for this first run, and it was a pretty decent lap actually up until this point where we spin and brace for impact and we sustain rear wing damage. Luckily we got the repairs done, put on our final set of tyres, and we're now going to go for an all or nothing lap here at Silverstone. And there we go, across the line. Decent lap, not perfect. I felt like my sector 1 was a bit scruffy, and you can see my reaction there. It was a bit of like a handshake. Not too bad, but not too great. You know, I'm happy because, you know, for Silverstone, that's really good for us, P5, but I could have done better. I do think P3 was possible with a perfect lap. I think my sector 1 was a bit off, about a 10th off, I'd say. And then a few little details here and there which could add up to that extra half a tenth that I need. So, yeah, qualifying P5, we'll take that. But we're now moving to the race with lots of rain.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Martinez and Norris, Gasly, Stroll, Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon, Latifi, Russell, Jack Aitken and Ticktum, Giovinazzi, Matsushita, Christian Lundgaard and Guan Yu Zhou, Eilert, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Here we are then for the race at Silverstone. P5 on the grid. Not too shabby. Definitely could have been P4, maybe even P3, but still we'll take it. And we're within range of the Red Bulls, which is the best we can hope for. You know, this has always been a struggle for me, this circuit, especially for one lap pace. So all things considered, I'm looking forward to it. The rain is going to be a very, very welcome guest. It looks like it's going to be just heavy rain the entire race non-stop. So already I'm considering the no stop as an option. Tyre wear seems very, very low, so we might be able to make a no stop work. So I'm going to try and go for that. We're going to run minimum fuel because we can save easily around here. That's not going to be a concern. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Really, if we can win this, which I think we can, it would be a massive, massive statement. Round 7, we would extend our lead to 47 points. in the worst case scenario if you were to win. So let's see what happens, man. It's going to be fun. Leave a like if you enjoy it. It's been a while since we've had an actual fully wet race, so let's get into it and let's see how it goes. Well, this is it then. It's absolutely chucking it down here at Silverstone. 5 lights. And run away. Not a good start. Caught napping, didn't react well to the lights. Into turn 1, we'll hold on to P6 as Lando gets the jump. Going to go up the inside and get this one back. Ricciardo crucially holding on to the lead as we get a yellow flag. Through turn 4, still side by side with Norris. Side by side onto the Wellington straight, but we managed to get ahead and recover P5. I forgot to mention I did go +1 higher on the front wing as well because it's in the rain. I was struggling with a bit of understeering qualifying, but you know, because of the stability issues and struggling to go flat through cops and stuff, I had to go with understeer. But for the race through the rain, we can afford to have a bit more wing, so hopefully that will help. And fingers crossed it doesn't hurt our straight line speed too much, because that's going to be key around here as there is no DRS. So straight line speeds are going to be very important for racecraft, both for defending and attacking. For now though, I feel like I'm struggling a little bit for pace as we lose a bit of ground to the top 4. Lando putting some pressure on, but everything seems okay for now. Crucially though, Verstappen is not P1, that's Ricciardo, so Max won't be able to just run away with it, and overtaking will be harder because of the lack of DRS. So I'm just going to crack on here and see how I get on. It's going to take me a couple of laps to fully settle into the conditions, as these are my first rain laps around here, whereas the AI are at full whack, full power. Oh my god, big moment there. Norris is going to get alongside. I'm going to try and fight back. Got some very good straight line speed. And we managed to get around the outside. That was a nice re-overtake, but I'm struggling for pace here early on. Just don't quite have the confidence underneath me yet. The AI should not be in full power mode anymore. Ricciardo 34.9. Very strong pace. Look at that, 37.1. My rears are on fire. I wonder if intermediates could be a race tyre, even though it's raining. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm really struggling though. Really struggling off the pace. I've never had this in the wet before.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
Norris up the inside. I'm trying to get a weather update. We're losing so much time. I'm overheating my tyres if I even try to push straight away. My tyre pressures are low, so I've never had this before. I'm going to pit for intermediates, I feel like, and see if they might be a better option.
Some information on Gasly. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Gasly slowing down then. I'm going to pit.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Never know, we might get lucky with a virtual or a safety car, but
The track is clear. Green flag.
I need to try something. This tyre isn't working for me. You know, maybe this is the answer, but the AI just going for the full wet. I don't know, but this tyre overheating isn't normal. Like, I can't sustain this for another 23 laps, so we need to bail and try something different. Period. Hopefully this works. I may have gone too high on difficulty as well, but that doesn't explain the tyre overheating, which I'd still have anyway. So let's see if maybe an intermediate tyre can fix this, or ruin our race.
Complete, go now.
About to find out shortly. Let's see, man. On the radio, Jeff said inters or wets could work, so
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
my logic here is it's raining quite a lot. It's on the more wet side, so the inters should work and not overheat. And it feels pretty damn good, actually. Let's see how the traction is. Okay, yeah, this could work. This could work, definitely. It all depends now that AI actually pit.
Heavy rain to stay a while. Doesn't look like it's moving anytime soon.
Let's see what our lap times are. But this feels okay. Look at that, purple in sector 2. I think we've made the right call here. It felt like the wet tire wasn't the way to go, even though it's raining a lot. The track looks kind of not fully damp in a weird sort of way, and I just feel like that level of overheating is just a screaming sign that it's time for inters. So let's push it. I don't know when the AI will pit, if they do pit, but we've got an undercut window here to try and take advantage of. Purple sector 3, let's go. Let's see if we do get a fastest lap. It will confirm the choice. 34.0, that's at least half a second, if not more, faster than the previous fastest lap. So it's definitely intermediate, at least for me anyway. But they are not pitting. Now, are they not pitting because they're going to try and do the whole race on the full wet? I don't know. This is becoming a bit of a strange race. But we're making progress. And if the AI don't stop, we're going to have to try and cut away through the entire pack. All 20, well in this case 19 cars ahead of us. Back to back, fastest laps. Let's go. This is great pace. If we just do the rest of the race like this, we can definitely get back on the podium. Even if the AI don't pit, I'm confident my pace is enough.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
I'm getting offered to go back to the full wets. The game genuinely thinks it's full wets.
Confirmed.
That's twice now, 2 laps in a row I've been offered that in the exact same position, so it's going to keep asking me every single lap. But the intermediate is much better. We're just going to keep doing our thing. It's worth noting the second strategy, which is what I picked, says to pit lap 15 for intermediate, so that could be a sign maybe where that AI might pit. Purely guessing, but at the minute this undercut is working beautifully. If they do pit at least once this race. 3 in a row into the mid 33s. Let's keep going. I'm feeling great now. Car feels fantastic. Okay, so our hot lapping is over. It's now time to start making some overtakes, and it's going to begin with Mick Schumacher as we set another fastest lap. Every single lap is going faster and faster as I get more and more confident and find the limit in the conditions. Through the S section, I'm going to try and set Mick up on the exit. There we go. Wait for the battery. Now we can deploy it. That's one down. Schwartzman up next. Managed to just about get back on the racing line in the brake zone so that I could take the corner normally. I was tempted to go for the dive there, but let's not rush into it. I'm expecting the AI to pit and do a one stop. If they do, we will win this race easily, especially because they'll probably pit for another set of wets. In the case they don't pit, it's crucial that we pass as quickly as possible, but I'll be shocked if the AI no stop it. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's unbeknown to me, so let's focus on them as we see it at face value, them not pitting as we struggle to make a move on Schwartzman here. Nice exit through there though. Now we can go for it. Here we go. Come on, come on. Closing, closing, closing. Oh dear, it's a bit hot. You have to try and pull that one back.
A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy.
Just be quiet, Jeff. I've told him to shut up already and he won't do it. I-Lot next, let's go for it. Decent enough exit through there. We got close enough that I'm confident in our straight line speed to get this one done. I want the outside line, please, mate. Thank you. That's what I fancy. There we go. Joe up next. Oof, almost ran to the back of him there. Got to be careful. I've got so much more grip though, it's not even funny. Into turn 1. Do I fancy a move? Yes, I do. Still by side. Outside of 2. Lovely. P16. Let's keep going. Lundgaard next. Got to set it up nicely through here. Get the exit hooked up, which we do. It should be a pretty straightforward move. Again, we'll try and get the outside line as that's where I like to be. And Aiken pits. Double front lock up, not going to help.
Jack is coming in for his stop.
So the AI are one stopping, which is what I expected in a normal race scenario. And it looks like they're going to just go for another set of wets. So in that case, looks like we can comfortably win this race. if the tyres make it. Matsushita next. Let's see if we can try and pass him. There's Bottas up the road. He was in P3, so that kind of tells you where we'll be if we clear Matsushita, which we have done. Let's get after Valtteri. Worth noting, the Red Bulls are not pitting, neither of them. Are they trying something different? As we get our first one for track limits. We've seen it before in the past, especially with Verstappen. He tends to go for different strategies. Maybe they're going long, waiting for something. Who knows? More cars in the pit stop. As we also start catching Bottas. To be fair, Bottas, pace-wise, is okay. He's not doing too badly. He is in a fresh wet though. We've still got the advantage as we're getting a bunch of places now, as we have quite a few more cars in the pits, including the McLaren. So let's see where we are. We're racing Leclerc on pit exit, but we're ahead, P4. So Bottas is the last of the one-stoppers, and then it's Verstappen and Ricciardo out front, yet to stop. Red Bull still not pitting. We're back on the pace, purple second sector. I've raised my rear diff back up to 100. I turned it down on the full wets and I forgot to move it back up. So we should have full grip on the rears now, as we're really starting to close in on Valtteri. This should also be, hopefully, an improved fastest lap if we've had a decent enough final sector, which I think we have. The grip's improving. Even though we're getting some tyre wear, my fronts are on 20% as I can't even see turn 1 because of the droplets. The fuel burn is compensating for tyre wear, so it's making the effect not as pronounced. Let's try and get Valtteri here and get that podium. Almost ran into the back of Valtteri, but here we go, this is it. The battle for third. Red Bull are not pitting. I'm starting to think they're going to no-stop it. If that's the case, P3 is the best we can do this race. I think the Red Bull's a bit too far out of reach, pace-wise, for me to catch them. I'll try once I clear Valtteri, but I think a bit too far. What I'm struggling to, oh my god, see is where I'm going to pass Bottas. He's got enough pace that I don't see a weakness. So this might take a little while to get sorted out. Getting pretty close into Cops. Second warning for track limits. But I'm really close this time. I don't want to let this one go. Oh, the exit wasn't that great, but I think we might just be close enough here. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Big send up the inside of Stowe. And we've done it. Let's go. P3. Been released, now we can just drive off. There's no way I'm making up 32 seconds in 8 laps on the Red Bulls, but we'll try. We'll give it a go, see what happens. Well, we are going to smash the fastest lap. 33.0. Only 4 tenths quicker. Now that we've been released into clean air and the fuel has burned off a bit. Gap's still 30 seconds. Not going to catch now unless a miracle happens, but we'll keep chipping away. Teammate status.
We're leading our teammate by 21.8 seconds. They're on old wets. They're in 10th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 35.0.
Well, that's the update on Aiken as we set another fastest lap. Nothing's going to happen now. We've just got to bring this car home. Too late for a safety car, and the top two aren't showing any signs of weakness in terms of their pace. Here we go then, last lap of the race. And the big surprise, Daniel Ricciardo is set to win. Red Bull haven't deployed team orders, they haven't swapped their cars around. Ricciardo's going to win it. Verstappen P2, so with the fastest lap that we're going to collect, we're only going to lose 2 points in the championship, so pretty damn good damage limitation if you ask me. What is one of the strangest races I think I've ever done. I've never seen this before. We had 2 cars no stop, which is both Red Bulls, everyone else 1 stop, and the most weirdest thing of them all, the intermediate was much faster and nobody used it. Anyway, we'll take a podium.
Plenty of action here at Silverstone. It was a memorable race, and what an impressive victory. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
There we go then, your surprise race winner here today, Daniel Ricciardo. Not just race win, but also pole yesterday in qualifying as well, so credit where it's due. Ricciardo showing great pace this weekend. Verstappen P2, Red Bull 1-2, complete domination on the no-stop strategy. We finished P3 with a fastest lap. We were by far the quickest car on track on the intermediate, but we were too far behind. I think I should have pit 2 or 3 laps earlier, and it might have helped out anyway. Still, it is what it is. I don't think I could have beaten the top 2 here today. Elsewhere, worth noting that Red Bull weren't the only team to no-stop. Aston Martin also deployed the no-stop and scored big points because of it. However, Jack Aitken only got P10. Should have been P8 had he got ahead of Lance Stroll. He finished a 10th behind him, so it must have been a close battle. And it could have been P7 had he got Stroll, and obviously Aston Martin's not no-stopped it. So Aitken, within reason, showing pretty decent pace, but he definitely was off the pace this weekend. His weakest performance of the season, I think, so far. After such a good run as well, he seems to have just dropped the pace a bit, but maybe it's just track specific, who knows. Let's look at the standings though, after that one, and you can see we're still 38 points to the good in the Drivers' Championship. Aitken still P5. Ricciardo, though, with that win, creates some separation and opens up a 24-point gap over Aitken. So, yeah, Norris still in there, P3, 64 points adrift. In the Constructors, we're still top by 14 points. The gap has been cut by 26 points. Quite a big cut this weekend. But crucially, we're still in P1. Hopefully we can hold on to it. Fingers crossed Jack Aitken can improve next weekend and show some better pace in the next race. But yeah, guys, that is it for this one here today. Leave a like if you enjoyed for what was one of the weirdest races in F1. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. Subscribe for more if you're new to the channel, as we're on the road to 100k. And yeah, as always, a big thank you to the channel members for supporting the content. Finally, check out 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care. And that's goodbye from me.